In today's video, I'm going to break down the best kept secret in college football 26 that will make your offensive run game and pass game absolutely unstoppable. Now, the best new feature that EA added into the game this year by far is the on-target defender feature. Now, I've made videos earlier in the year talking about how to use this with some specific tactics relating to blocking in the run and pass game. But there's some even better secrets that you can use with this feature that I'm going to break down in this video. So, the first thing I want to show you guys is how unstoppable this is actually on RPOs. Now, we're going to look at this gun bunch tight end RPO alert bubble. This might overall be the best RPO in the game. But when you know how to use the on target defender feature, it becomes even better. You can literally run this up and down the field on the defense once you understand how it works. So, first of all, man to man coverage. In general, your defender, if he's like in the box, if he's in man, it can do a reasonable job. Now, sometimes he gets caught up as he does there, and we're able to get yards. But other times, sometimes he's able to make a play. As you guys can see here, he kind of, runs down and can make a play. Now, there is always going to be a way to untarget the defender from this play that's going to give you huge gains. So, first example against man to man. You have to realize against man to man that the guy manned up to this bubble is really the only player that can really make the play. All these other guys, they're manned up to other players, so they're just kind of not even gonna attempt to make the play. So if I know that Gamble, the safety, is the guy because he's manned up that could play this, what I'm gonna do is actually flick the right analog stick up, and when you do that, the untarget defender feature pops up, and the flame is the guy we're untargeting. I want to actually move it to the slot corner and untarget him because now this guy, he won't make the play anyways because I know he's manned up. He's going to just kind of get sucked into the middle of the field. When I untarget him, you're going to notice that now, look at this. That slot corner, I'm sorry, the slot receiver blocks the safety that made the play before in the previous two examples, and I get a touchdown. So if you go ahead and take a look at the replay here, you'll see exactly why this is so good. So, like I said, the other guys that are manned up, they get sucked into the middle. They're not thinking that they need to play this, right? Now, in the previous play, 13 blocked the slot, and this guy was unblocked. He made the play both times. All right. Here, because I untargeted the slot, 13 actually goes and blocks the safety, whereas the slot corner, he's just not recognizing what's going on here. And, I'm able to throw and catch, and this is a easy touchdown. Now, how can we exactly utilize this against zone? So against zone, if you notice that they have a hard flat. Real quick, guys, if you want to dominate college football 26 and win more games, sign up for my VIP membership on sportsgamers.com. You'll get access to all my premium content for the entire year, including all my offensive and defensive ebooks, weekly tip updates, and more. I'm running a limited time sale on my yearly membership where you get 7 months for free and 6 bonus ebooks. Over 99% of our members say that they win more games with our tips. Click the link in the description of this video and start winning more games now. By a defender in the slot, most of the time he can get blocked. But there's certain situations like that, if we don't use the untarget feature, he will not get blocked. Now, we can avoid this by using the untarget. You guys can see here, the slot corner is in the flat. That's the guy that can really make the play, and he kind of just zooms around the blockers, and it's just because of confusion with the blockers, and he makes the play. So against this type of defense, what you actually want to do is you want to untarget most likely either the safety or this linebacker. It depends upon the positioning. In this case, we're going to untarget we'll untarget the safety, but either one should work. As you guys see there, now the slot corner gets blocked and we're able to pick up yards. Now, if you untarget the linebacker, same thing. It should ensure that that guy gets blocked. Now, he got He got blocked, but then he just shedded it really well. He came off the block, popped me, but he still did get blocked. But personally, normally what I do is I untarget the safety because that's going to ensure that they get the block. Now, the other thing you have to be aware of that a lot of people will do, a lot of people, when they play zone, what they're going to do is they're going to move out the safety outside of the slot corner. Now, anytime you see this, the reason why people do this is when they move the safety outside the slot corner, this confuses the basically the blockers too. And when they do this, that flat zone by the slot corner can just slide right through the two blockers, make the tackle. So if you ever see somebody slide, say a safety or just a defender that was inside of the slot corner, outside of him, you always want to go ahead and untarget him to make sure that the slot corner gets blocked. Because again, the safety is not really in position to make a play here. They're just trying to confuse your blockers. Guys, if you're enjoying this content and you want more like it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop me a like, comment on the video. I'm doing tons of content on here to help you guys get better at the game. If you want even more, you can check out my VIP membership on sportsgamerz.com, where you get full schemes. I do schemes all year long. Last year, we put about 15 schemes out throughout the year. This year, we're on pace to do a similar amount. So, anyways, here you guys can see when you untarget the safety, you're going to make sure that slot corner gets blocked and you're able to get positive yardage. Now, this is obviously really good on RPOs, but it has other uses as well. The last thing I really want to talk about before we move on is cover two. So cover two is a bit different in that really, you got the flat. You got the outside corner now in the flat. So if they shade their coverage down, majority of the time, that guy's the only one who can make a play. Now you guys can see there, he did get blocked, but it's kind of the same thing. Anytime they're in zone, it is best to untarget the safety because that's just going to ensure that the slot and outside corner get blocked. And for whatever reason, they don't get confused and try to go get the safety because, like I said, players on defense are smart enough, or some are, to know that depending upon how you move your defensive players, like safeties, sometimes that can confuse the blockers and just make them ignore the person they should block. But here you guys see when you untarget him, both of those guys get blocked, they ignore the safety, and we're upfield for easy yardage. So you guys can see here that, just a simple little screen like this, we could run almost all day long because of the on-target feature. We can always make sure it gets blocked properly. As I mentioned before, there's definitely other uses to this that you can utilize for the run and pass game. Now, another use is if you have an RPO alert bubble where it's basically a spread set with a slot receiver on the bubble, outside receiver blocking. So if I was to call this against, man-to-man defense, or really just a defense with a hard flat by the slot corner, this would be just completely caged because we don't have the bunch alignment to get good blocking like we did on the last one. So if I was to just call this against man-to-man stock, you guys can see, that guy's right there to pick the pass off or maybe break it up. Either way, nothing good is going to happen. But with the untarget feature, we can actually get touchdowns on majority of defenses out there out of this alignment simply by untargeting the outside corner. Because now, whether that guy in the slot is manned up or not, I'm telling the outside right receiver, hey, don't block the outside right corner, block the slot corner. And once again, that outside corner, he's just not going to really be able to make a play. As you guys can see here, he just gets sucked into the middle of the field, and I score a touchdown. And show you guys, it's not fluke. I'll do it once more, and then I'll break down in the replay what this does, how it works. So again, we flick the right analog stick up, put the flame over the outside corner, select him, and you'll see now the outside receiver blocks the slot. And then again, because that outside corner is really not aware of what's going on, he gets sucked in the middle. It's a free touchdown. So you'll see here, because of the untarget feature, you can control who gets blocked and who is free. And based upon alignment, we know that the slot corner is the guy that can make the play here. And well, voila, we block him. It's an easy touchdown. Now, like I said, this is good in the run and pass game. This is also very, very effective against, defenses when you're running the ball. So, for instance here, HB off tackle. This is actually one of my favorite runs in the game to utilize against these heavy cover zero blitzes. Now, just calling this stock is nice. If you get good blocking, you can get outside. Right, pretty easy play call. But again, we can do better. You guys can see, like, by default, this run has this defensive end untargeted. And that's just because, he's backside. He really shouldn't be able to make a play anyways, unless, he's just 99 speed and the running back is, I would say, slow as hell. This is just simply, he's not going to make a play because this is not an inside zone. We're not cutting it potentially upfield. This is basically an outside zone run, an off tackle where we're going directly outside. So when you untarget him, he's just never going to be able to make a play. So if you go ahead and take a look at the replay, you'll see why making sure you have the flame over this D end is good, because now you make sure that these three receivers over here are able to just get basically their blocks. But then also, there's no sheds on the line because, like, we're letting the income free, the tight end, he's double teaming. We're making sure none of the guys that can actually make the play on the line are going to make a play. So this is actually a very beneficial way to run it. Again, you flip the right analog stick up, just put it over this defensive end, and you're going to make sure that he is not going to be targeted. We're going to let him come, and as you guys can see here, he's just not able to get there. It's an easy run. So this is good in the run and pass game, specifically really dangerous with these RPOs. You guys can see, like, just tons of different examples. This is just a few from the specific playbook. Like I said, if you're enjoying this video, smash that like button. Until next time, it's your boy Duke, and I'm out of here.